Hola, hola, soy Sandy de Trimax Mobile Homes y me encuentro en una de las fábricas más importantes de Texas y de Estados Unidos. En esta ocasión quiero compartir con ustedes el proceso para elaborar una de las mejores casas que tenemos en Trimax Mobile Homes. Como ustedes han visto diferentes videos, tenemos casas sencillas y dobles de 3 y de 4. Así que precisamente por eso me encuentro hoy en la fábrica para compartir con ustedes los detalles de fabricación de esta casita. Compartan conmigo los primeros pasos que Raymond nos explicará cómo es el precio. Hi Raymond.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so this right here is where we make the frames. All frames are made in-house, brand new. We use I-beams with C-channels, and right now we don't really have a frame that's being made. They just actually made the new one over on the other side here. The way we do our frames though is we camber them for the weight of the house, and we also make sure everything we use is made in-house here.
Ok, como ustedes pueden ver, le explicó que el primer paso es construir los beams de la casa, donde van soldados y muy reforzados para que soporte el peso de la casa.
Now this is a better example here. As you see on the frame there, you see how it bends up and down, curves like that. The reason why it's done that way is because of the weight of the house. When they finally build the house on top of the frame, it'll level out and be level true throughout the entire house. Another thing you see is on the sides there. These are outriggers that actually go to the full length of the house, so the exterior wall will sit right here, and the frame is drilled into that exterior wall. So what you'll notice is the entire weight of the house is supported by the frame of the house.
Excelente. Esto es lo que hace que soporte la casa y se pueda nivelar completamente. En los extremos van sujetados lo que es la madera para que la casa quede precisamente ajustada a lo que es el tamaño de la casa. Vamos a pasar al siguiente paso. No voy traduciendo precisamente literalmente, pero lo que puedo explicarles en pocas palabras, lo voy a hacer.
Yeah, so when the frames are completed, what they'll do is they'll pull them out here, and they'll move over the completed flooring of the house and actually set it onto the frame here. Over there is a completed product, and what we can do is, if you look underneath here, you'll see that we use all our houses, we use PVC piping only for outflow water, but all inflow water that actually stays in the house, is all done with PEX piping. You can see the PEX piping there and the PEX piping over on the side there. All of that right there holds water, and the reason for that is so if there's a freeze, if something, it can expand and contract, and you won't have any water busting inside your house.
Excelente, explicó cómo están instaladas las pipas del agua, del drenaje. Esto ayuda mucho a que cualquier problema de liqueo sea fácil de reparar.
You see this right here? This right here, on all of our ventilation systems in all of our houses, we use mastic sealing, so that way there's no heat loss, no air loss in your systems, because over time, especially here in Texas, heat can get in here and separate heat tape. You seal it like this and it's good for a lot longer.
Excelente, esas son las tuberías de ventilación para que lo que es el aire acondicionado y todo sea excelente y proteja mucho lo que es la casa.
So right here, this is technically station 1 of our plant. This is where we will build the decking of the house. As you see, we use a 2x6 floor joist on 16-inch centers, and then we'll double up or we'll space it a little closer if there's a heavier area of the house. As you see, by looking at this one, this looks like this is a front porch model, a little bit wider decking there, and then a lot tighter decking on the back side of the house, and then a little bit right there where there's heavier. We also use OSB tongue and groove floor decking that is glued down and nailed down. So you have basically like a triple secure point there on your flooring, so you don't get any of those squeaks, cracks, or shifting points like you can in other houses.
Excelente tamaño de lo que es la madera, realmente lo que hace que soporte el peso también y esté bien construida la base para que pueda seguir el siguiente paso.
Right here you can see this is rolled linoleum that we do standard on all our houses. They'll roll it out, they'll staple it in place, make sure that there's no bubbles, no nothing. They do that back in that stage back there.
Este es un piso vinyl de una sola pieza que está instalado uniformemente, en donde se garantiza que no tenga burbuja de aire para que pueda dar uniforme a lo que es el piso y pueda quedar profesionalmente instalado.
Over here on the back side is where we make our cabinets for all our houses. All cabinets are made in-house. That's including the laminating process of the houses. We own our own plants, so all the cabinet faces, all the cabinets are laminated by our lamination factory, and then they're built to spec per house. We use heavier grade 3/4 inch styles that are meant to be able to hold a heavier door. We use vacuum sealed doors, so that way they're a lot more heat resistant, steam resistant. And then we also use silent rockers for the door frame, so they sit flatter and they look a lot better.
En esta fábrica se construyen todos los gabinetes con la calidad de los materiales, asegurándose que sean excelentes y que soporten mucho y que sean durables.
Now the way we build our houses is we build our houses inside out. As you saw over there, they've got the piping, they've got the electrical all ran up through the floor. Then from there they'll start putting the toilets, the tubs, all the water fixtures in, and we'll put the interior walls in place. So they'll chalk out where interior walls go, place those, make sure that's good, and then they'll move over and start putting exterior walls on the house once your interior is completed out.
Ok, de esta forma ellos instalan lo que son las paredes con la insulación. Como ustedes pueden observar en aquella plataforma están todas las pipas, electricidad, antes de montar lo que son las paredes y la insulación. Vamos dándole forma a las casitas.
See here. Now they've started to place the exterior walls in place. You've got the piping. See brass knuckles, PEX piping, that's where water is inflowing and then water outflowing there. You'll seal all the holes coming through the floor so there's no air gaps coming through. Plus, when exterior walls are put in place, they do have a seal that's put in place underneath them to keep any airflow from being able to come through the exterior walls as well. Of course, everything we use 2x4 exterior walls on 16-inch centers. The important reason for this is because we do 2x6 flooring, 2x4 walls, both are on 16-inch centers. So basically everywhere you have a point of a wall, you have a point in the floor that's being supported, that's supporting it. Great example right here. We are one of the few factories in the nation that can actually marry our double wides together inside the factory. So we will build all our double wides A half, B half, and then once they get to this point in the line, they will join the two halves together to make sure that they all the interior walls line up, all the electrical, all the plumbing, everything matches up in the factory. So when it gets shipped out to you, wherever your location's at, you know that the house is already ready. There's no ands, ifs, or buts.
Ok, como ustedes pueden observar, esta es una casa doble. Esta fábrica es muy profesional. Realmente ellos se aseguran que esté con todos los detalles, con todas las opciones realmente bien construida para que pueda moverse al dealer.
All exterior walls are supported by these uprights. Right here, what these do is these are actually to help with wind. So if there's wind pushing, it supports these. Each one of these, I believe, are tested for about 3,000 pounds of pressure. And as you see, there's one on just about every single joist going across the exterior wall on both sides of the house. Plus, these are tie-down straps to keep the house from shifting once it gets set into place. Then something else we will do is if we run electrical through the wall, one of two things is we either use a nail plate for the exterior walls like this. So if you put a nail in there, you're hitting metal, you're not hitting electrical. Or we will drill a hole through there and put a steel tubing in so that electrical is always safe when it goes through a stud. Another thing we will do, if I can find one, is you see if it's coming through a floor, if it's offset, we will do offsets of 1 to 2 inches off the side of the stud, so that way electrical going up and down is set off of a stud, not on a stud, so you don't have to worry about hitting.
Esto es lo que indiscutiblemente hace la diferencia en la calidad de las casas de Legacy Housing, realmente construidas con calidad, detalles que hacen la diferencia para que podamos tener una excelente casa.
Now, when it comes to exterior options, something we use is a smart panel exterior instead of hardy panel. The reason why we use smart panel is because smart panel is a lot more durable. It's a wood-based composite. It can withstand hailstorms. It can withstand a lot of pressure against it, where your typical hardy board, since it is concrete based, if it gets hit just right, it can crack. That type of siding right there can stand a lot longer.
Esto de nuevo corrobora lo que es la calidad de nuestras casas. Las ofrecemos en Trimax Mobile Homes. Tenemos disponibles en Trimax Mobile Homes todas las casas que usted pueda escoger en Legacy Housing.
As you see, in our flooring, they've started in on the roof decking there. They will go through, they will blow the insulation in this section of the plant here, and then once that's done, they do put the roof decking in. If you look, we make all trusses in at our truss plant. So again, another step in the process that's made here by Legacy. And if you look underneath there, you see the what looks like foil underneath there. That is our radiant barrier that will help keep your attic space and your home cooler over time.
Ok, en esta parte podemos ver que ellos aseguran que esté precisamente instalada la insulación para que pueda mantener ya sea el calor o el frío la casa y que esté confortable para la familia. O sea, este es excelentes casitas de Legacy Housing.
Once the roof decking is in place, they've sealed it, they've made sure that there's no gaps up there. It's good to go. It'll move over here, and then they'll start putting on shingle roofing, which is standard for all of our houses.
De esta forma ellos aseguran de sellar todas las partes, que no haya un espacio donde pueda meterse algo arriba del techo o del ceiling.
And then finally, once it gets to here, each station, we do have 18 stations. They're numbered. So you get 15, 16, 17.
Ok, vamos caminando. A veces nos encontramos aquí que no hay mucho camino.
It moves to our final finish stations. These last two stations right here is basically where the house is made ready to live in. It's built, the windows are in place, the doors are in place. What they're doing now is they're testing electrical, they test the water system, make sure there's water pressure in the house, there's no leaks. They'll set the appliances in place, they'll put the batten strips, and basically from this point to that point, when it moves out that door, it is a move-in ready house. As you see down there on the end, those two houses are painted, those houses are ready.
Esta es la última parte donde hacen la inspección que todo esté cordialmente instalado, o sea, precisamente las puertas, las ventanas, hacen lo que es el test para asegurarse que el agua corra, que la electricidad esté correctamente instalada. Esta es la última parte para asegurarse que también los appliances estén instalados. Ese es precisamente lo que estamos supervisando.
Now, one thing about the houses too is we have quality control that is at every step of the process. So they are checking to make sure that the walls are built correctly, the insulation is done correctly, the interior of the house is done correctly. And there is a check mark process for each one of our stations. And right now, we're building 7 to 8 houses per day. We have 18 stations, so that means that basically you go from a piece of paper to a live-in ready house in about 2.5 days.
How many houses per day?
7 to 8. We're doing about 7 to 8 houses per day. We have 18 stations here in this factory.
Okay.
So that's pushing right around 2.5 days from concept to live-in ready house.
Ok, nos están confirmando que están fabricando 78 casas.
This right here is important to see right here. As you see, the carpet is actually cut to spec for the bedrooms. We do not roll carpet out first and put walls on top because that makes it hard and makes it too difficult to remove later on. Each house, if you have carpet in a room, that carpet is cut specifically for that room. We use tack strips around the outside, and it creates a better process. So if you ever want to replace your carpet, ever need to upgrade it, or any of that, you can do it a whole lot easier. There's no cutting, there's no nothing. You just pull your carpet up and you can put your new carpet down. Something else, this is a good example there. You see those wire offsets going up and down the wall? It's keeping the wire off the stud, keeping the wire safe, and keeping the electrical system in the house safe. You can see it a little bit from here. Over there, we use rocker panels inside of all of our houses, so it's a little bit more residential grade rocker panels. And then if you see the outlets, all of our outlets are horizontal instead of vertical, and they are set a little lower to the floor than what you commonly expect. And the reason behind that is because of furniture placement. So we design our houses where you can place a piece of furniture almost anywhere in there and not block one of your electrical outlets.
Ok, mis amigos, así es como yo les he traído este video muy especial desde la fábrica Legacy Housing para mostrarles la calidad de nuestras casas, las que tenemos disponibles para usted en Trimax Mobile Homes. Ok, de esta forma podemos dar final a nuestro video. Quiero compartir con ustedes que es el momento del lunch de muchos trabajadores. Así que no están en sus labores, no que están tomando su lunch. Esto fue un tour por la fábrica de Legacy Housing, donde yo me estoy asegurando de poder compartir con ustedes la calidad del producto que ofrecemos. Tenemos excelentes casas, realmente es una buena decisión comprar su casa con nosotros. Así que hábleme al 281-255-0028. Si usted tiene una pregunta, usted puede llamarme con toda confianza. Yo puedo explicarle cómo es el proceso para comprar su casa. Si tenemos la casa disponible en Trimax Mobile Homes, excelente. Si no, podemos ordenar una a su gusto. Así que hábleme al 281-255-0028. Mi nombre es Sandy y estoy para ayudarle en todo lo que usted necesita en relación a comprar su casa móvil. Será hasta pronto. Bendiciones. Saludos.